Please introduce yourself and your organization.
Okay, Sawadee good sample. My name is Desang Doji, and I work in Ministry of Education, and my job is to coordinate the school agriculture program. And at present, I'm also the head of school health and nutrition division, which is been looking responsible for school health and school feeding program in the country.
Okay, thank you. Please introduce yourself and your organization.
Sawadee Krap and Kuzangpo. Thank you very much for inviting us to speak over your FM radio. Before I answer your question, I would like to thank Her Royal Highness Mahachakri for inviting me and my team in this FUFA Development Center for a week-long training. My name is B.B. Rai. You can call me B.B. I am the head of school agriculture program from the Agriculture and Forest Ministry in Bhutan.
Okay, thank you. And you, Mr. Didi, why you and your team come to Pufa Development Center, Thailand?
Okay, if I have to tell everything, I think it's going to take so long. But I'll try to be very brief why we are here today in Pufa Development Center. Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirindon of your country had been like a goddess for Bhutanese children, because from 2007 through the WP support, few officers including myself, we have visited few schools in nearby Bangkok, and in 2010 a team comprising of many dignitaries from the Princess Project Office had visited our country, and there we have taken them to the schools that today they are representing out here. And in 2012 they have approved, saying that okay, 3 schools are been granted by Princess Project. So accordingly, then we had very close contact with your Thai Princess Project Office, and from 2014 again another 3 schools, so made 6 schools. So during that time also, the teachers of pilot schools were given the opportunity to see the school lunch project practices in Thailand, not only in Bangkok. So we have also been to like Chiang Rai province, and after that there wasn't much correspondences. But again, last year in 2018, Dr. Natapon from the project office and accompanied by Dr. Vijay from Maidol University, they came up and visited the existing 6 schools, and also agreed that they will expand this program to other few more schools. So accordingly, before ending 2018, and we heard the good news saying that the princess has granted another 5 schools, and to making the total of 11 schools now. And for this, to get the exposure and also to see the progress what our existing schools are doing, so the project office has suggested and approved 2 teachers, that is 1 principal, the other one is focal language teacher, and 3 other officers here. One is my colleague here, Bibi. The other one we have chief district education officer from 1 district. So altogether we are 25. And then why we have come here to Fufa Development Center is that mainly the idea that was I think shared and given by Dr. Natapon and her team, because they have been to Bhutan several times, and they found Bhutan is very much like the non-province, the way of people living standard, and also including the environment and all the vegetation, the tree that we see here is also found in Bhutan. So I think by seeing those, and they might have thought that if this opportunity for us is given and this such training is provided to us in such a training center, so I think that was their very bright and excellent idea that we have been here, and this place we really liked it. And although we have been here for the last 3-4 days, but to us we didn't feel that just we came last night, and time is running very short, and that shows that this place is very beautiful. And also I think the field trips that was conducted over the days, and they were all found to be very much relevant. And I think I'm sure the teachers and principals who are attending this, they can grab lots of good practices, good ideas from the school that we have visited, and the work, sort of a work that they are doing so clearly, very clean. And I think that's why we are in Phupa Development Center, which we still look forward for another similar type of center if given the chance in future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And you, Mr. BV, please tell about your country on education and farming system.
Thank you very much for this beautiful question. I think we should understand the farming system in Bhutan. Bhutan is a mountainous country, very high mountain, but we still have some plains in the south. We have midland and we have high altitude lands. So in Bhutan, it's almost like here, mountain, and you have small farming. So most of our farmers are small scale farmers. They grow some fruit trees for their own consumption. They grow rice, they grow maize, and they also grow some fruits on the mountain. We grow apple and orange in the mountain as a cash crop, and we grow cereals like maize and paddy in the plains. So basically in Bhutan the farming system is called subsistence. They grow only for them to eat, and the crop that we produce is not enough because of the mountain. So what we do is we import many cereals from India. We also import some rice from Thailand. So about 40% of the food that we import from outside, and we are sufficient with our production about 60%, meaning that there is a lot of scope to improve farming system in Bhutan. So it's almost like this non-province. You have mountain, you have slope. About 15 to 20 years before, we also used to have a lot of the shifting cultivation. You cut the trees and burn it, and you used to have maize plantation. But our government have now stopped this shifting cultivation, which I heard even in Nan, you do not encourage shifting cultivation, because I understand this Nan province is in the watershed area, in the hill area, that will affect many lives of the plain. So similar in Bhutan also, we have mountains, and on the valley near the India you have plain, and we do not encourage now the shifting cultivation like here. So our farmer also grow some animal, some cow, some goat, some chicken, and not for commercial. So whatever we produce in our country, Bhutan, is basically for our own consumption. But there are a few farmers like potato growers in the high mountain, the apple growers on the high mountain, and the orange farmers in the southern valley. They also grow cardamom, the spices crops cardamom. They export to India and Bangladesh. So that's how they make money. So the farming system in Bhutan is subsistence and for our own consumption. We have very little farmers who do export to other country. So about the education system, I have my friend Didi from Education Ministry who can speak on the education system in Bhutan. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Bibi. And you, Mr. Didi, what similarity and difference you find between Bhutan and Thailand?
I think before I answer this to your question, let me continue what my friend Bibi said something on the farming system. And he's being from the Ministry of Agriculture and Forests, so he's very much thorough with the school, the farming system in the country. And I'm representing here from the Ministry of Education, and mainly to represent the education system in the country. So we are very fortunate, very similar to Thailand and Bhutan. We don't see much difference, because here also you have you respect to your royal, and the kings and all the royal family, they look upon the people so carefully, and so as we do have very far-sighted kings in our country, and our king's concern is to make lots of good things for the people, develop for the people. So therefore, as my colleague already said, what sort of farming system that we have in the country. But today we are trying to have the basic techniques of farming in the school system. So in the school, although children are very small, yet the concept we are trying to give to them as thinking that they will learn the farming skills, and also later on they can be a good farmer, educated farmer, and also by doing this, and they also get lot of food to eat at the school level. Although many schools are provided ration by the government, yet some more vegetables like fruits, all this needs to be purchased. Therefore, instead of buying from outside, and we are educating the children to do something on their own, like you are doing here in this center, as well as the school that we have visited last 2 days back. And the same concept that we are trying to impart to our children, thinking that they will become the educated farmer, and also to supplement their food today, what they are eating today. And food is, we consider that food is everything. And as I said, I'm working in the school health and nutrition division. And then when we talk about the nutrition, I think agriculture is very important. From agriculture we get food. And the food is a main pillar for the nutrition. And that is why we call it agriculture is the mother of all cultures. Like whoever is in the school, and in parents, teachers, they always think that we want that my daughter or my son to become excellent in academics. But I say we need to feed that child with a good food so that he or she can be excellent in the academic. Thank you.
Okay.
And the next question, I think you may ask my colleague. Otherwise, he'll get more.
And you, Bibi, what knowledge and skill you learn from this training?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is another very good question. Thank you very much for this question. However, before I tell about your question, I also want to join my friend Mr. Didi about the similarity and difference between Bhutan and Thailand. I think there are many similarities between Bhutan and Thailand. The first difference, first similarity is that we both are almost a Buddhist country. We all love and pray Buddha. That is one. Number two is, like my friend Didi said, we are a democratic country, but we still have king and queens who take care of our poor people in the villages. We also in Bhutan, we also have a king and queen who looks after very needy people, beside the government support. So I find this very similarity. The poor people can still depend on the king and queen to make their livelihood. So that is very similar. The third is that the farming system itself. This is my fourth time coming to Thailand, but this is my first time coming to the hills of Thailand. I never came to this hilly area like Nan, Chiang Mai. I have never been. I heard these are almost like Bhutan. So these are some similarity. And you also preserve lot of green here in the mountain. You also preserve nature, which is also in Bhutan also, our constitution says that we have to preserve at least 60% of forest for all the times to come, which means we all love nature and we all like to protect our environment. That is similarity. The difference that Bhutan and Thailand is perhaps you are more developed. You are more developed. Whereas Bhutan, we are still developing. We do not have resources. We do not have technology. We do not have people who have lot of knowledge. So that is difference, and probably that is the one that is making a difference between Bhutan and Thailand. You have lot of resource. So for that matter, school feeding program supported by your Royal Princess Highness Sridon is very helpful to us, because as my friend Dezang said, it is very helpful to increase the number of school in terms of coverage, in terms of taking technology in agriculture, taking technology for school feeding. So that these are some of the difference and similarity. But coming back to your question, the knowledge and skills that we have gained over these 5 days of training. We came here on 14th and we started training from 15 until today. I think we have learned a lot, which is very difficult to learn even in a year. So within 1 week or 5 days, I think we have learned many things here which are new. I, as an agronomist, I'm in agriculture and I'm agronomist. Many things I did not hear it. Like you have the sprout from the mung bean for nutrition. That is number 1. Number 2 is the hill farming with lot of bamboo. You made the bamboo and you can still cultivate. You can still make terrace in the slopes. So these are some new technology, and also the organic farming. I have to tell you this: organic farming is main policy in the agriculture ministry in Bhutan. But we do not know many of this technology. Here you have lot of technology like making plant extract for pest control. You have the compost making technology. So these are some few things that I learned as very new technology from these 5 days of training, which I can, and my team, my teachers, my principals can take back to our country, and we can practice it. And the very important thing that I heard in your country is about the self-sufficiency program, the King's project with the self-sufficiency program to manage a small land with integrated approach of livestock, cereals, and fruit plants, which is very, very important lesson that I learned, so that our farmers in Bhutan can do the integrated farming with livestock, with forest, nature, and agriculture. So this is very important thing that I will be taking back home, and it's very important that a developed country like Bhutan have a partner like almost developed country. Your country Thailand is a developed country for us. So it is always very important for us to have a technical collaboration like this, to learn good technology from Thailand. Probably you also can learn, Thailand can also learn many things that we practice in Bhutan as a part of happiness. Bhutan is a country of happiness. We are always proud that we are happiness country, and happiness doesn't come that way. Happiness comes when you have a development that is desired by the people, development by preserving the nature, environment. So happiness comes there. So probably few things like happiness you can learn from us. Technology, that because you are a developed country, we can learn technology from you. So I think there are many things, but a few things I learned. Maybe my friend Didi can share the same question on the lesson learned. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And you, Mr. Didi, please tell us about school, feeling, and natural. program in Bhutan?
Right. Now, before I say that, I also join my colleague here to thank, first of all, to thank Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirindon for supporting our Bhutanese population, besides millions and millions of children out here in Thailand. And also, as my friend said, we have now Bhutan and Thailand have become very good friends, and Bhutan is not very far away from the far away. It's just a matter of 2-3 hours flight. So as my friend says, Thailand people can come to Bhutan and see the practices what we do there, and then also Bhutanese are coming now and then here, and we are also learning so much from them. Now, based on to respond to your question regarding the school feeding program, here in Thailand I see not many schools are supported. Only the school lunch project, and that is being supported by Her Royal Highness Princess and Princess Project. And in Bhutan, it is a little bit different because we have 500 plus schools. Out of that, 263 schools are given food by the government. We purchase food and supplied it to school, and in the school they cook and feed the children, and they reside in the school. And also we have 2 meals a day program also. So altogether, if I just sum up, we have out of 263 schools, we have been Royal Government of Bhutan is feeding to 72,530 students. They are paid by the government, and this is like the field visit or the workshop that we attend here in Thailand. And when you go back, so we can always try to infuse and then try to chip in what we have gained, the new ideas from Thailand and good practices that you have here, because you have the habit of consuming lots of vegetables. For example, our meal, the lunch that we had together, and there maximum we consume was vegetables, whereas in Bhutan we are very much, as my friend said, we are not really developed. Even today, the potato is still being considered as vegetable, not as a staple food. So with this, I think once again, I still pray on my on behalf of the ministry, the schools, and the children, and also the participants who are here today with here, would like to pay our deepest gratitude and prayers for Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri to Sirindon to live long and prevail her blessings to all the people, not only within Thailand and Bhutan, and if possible maybe across the world. And I still use that word, she is like a goddess, and that she has shown the magical power in during her visit to Bhutan in 2016. Thank you so much, and Kapun Kap.
Okay, thank you, Didi, Mr. Didi, and Mr. BB. Today we say goodbye. See you again next time.